everyone. I just wanted to do this quick testimonial about Robert Barnes and his services. I stumbled upon him on the internet through someone I had followed who I think she has a lot of integrity in the work and the things that she offers, and she seemed to have been healed through him. And I was going through some things that were happening to me, loved ones around me, my home, and my body wasn't 100% as well, I've got to be honest, and I didn't know what was really happening. It's not that I'm an unhealthy person, but I just was finding that I was getting aches, pains, sinus issues. I had my left toe that I stubbed on a trip somewhere in December, and I was still in pain. I couldn't bend the toe to a certain extent, and in fact I was to go to the doctor just to double check with an x-ray if everything is okay still. And I really was feeling like something around me felt stuck and not right, and things weren't going right on some aspects of my personal life. And I felt like though my whole space felt, I would say the word is stuck, or there was bad energy or something was going on. And I didn't know what Robert could offer. I didn't know if it was healing that I needed. I didn't know if I needed to connect to, spirit guides or to source. I didn't know if I needed, other types of assistance. I didn't know what could be offered. So I just kind of opened up to Robert, who was really open and honest and just so down to earth to speak with. And I just kind of blurted out and told him everything. Even in just that pre-consultation, I just felt as if he was already pulling things out of me. And so I literally had that consultation yesterday, and I proceeded to have the session with him at night. That night, I got prepared, and I didn't know what to expect or what to come of it, but I'll be honest. So I've written it down on my book here. I've journaled it, and this is my sort of journal manifesting book, because I do believe in this stuff. I just don't know how to tap into it, but I'm not a person I could say who does this. I practice any of this. All I do know is that I follow a lot of people who tap into the energetic world and have very holistic beliefs about life and spirituality. And I just said, you know what, I've had some experiences, and in my past, energetically speaking, and I've done plant medicine in the past and explored all these different aspects of my spiritual side, but I really didn't know what to do, and I hadn't gotten around to continuously doing it because life gets in the way. And so this was my one attempt to say, you know what, maybe I need to really check myself out and see what's happening, because I'm noticing things that are not going so well, and maybe I need to get back to some sort of source or divinity within me, and understand my energetic self a bit more. I really didn't know what Robert was going to offer, so I said I'm going to still try it. I did, and honestly, after a little bit of breath work with him last night, I had real pain at the back of my neck, the base of my neck, for which I was receiving massage therapy. All of that has gone. It was going up, and I would get sharp pangs. And in fact, over the last week, I was getting headaches, which I attributed to sinus issues. I was feeling it here on the sides, and it's now completely gone. I always suffer from sinus issues for which it's not physical. They had always said it was environmental, but I was always stuffed up. And last night in the session, I could feel my sinuses starting to drain, like liquids were coming down. So that was interesting. and my stubbed toe, I'm now able to bend it fully without pain. I mean, I couldn't go that much. Now I can go at least this much. No pain whatsoever. It's still not as flexible as the right side, but it is like 100 times fold way better. And I feel like I'm on the path to healing. I literally felt energy flowing through me, through my body, and especially on my right side. It felt like waves going up and down, and tingly feelings from the tip of my toe to the top of my head and back down. And you could literally feel the flow of energy through your body. I don't know how to explain that, but it feels like rushes of waves and feelings, as if you've got, air inside of you that's circulating. The left side of me was a little bit stuck. I felt no movement, and he continued working until finally there was some kind of blockage or release, something released. And then I was able to feel all kinds of flow and movement throughout me in that session. And, little areas where I would get little sharp pangs of pain, I would let him know, and he would concentrate on that area. And then there was again this weightless type of feeling in me. And, when I had enough of that, he said to me, "Are you ready to open up your third eye?" I never had anyone ask me that. I mean, I know what it is. I've seen others do stuff like this. I've researched it for how many years. I've just never been able to do that. I didn't understand what he was saying. So I said, well, yeah, sure, let's try it. So, we got down to it, and eventually whatever techniques he used, he had me completely close my eyes, and he said, "Put your hand in front of yourself right now, eyes closed. Can you see your hand?" And I swear to you, I saw the outline of my hand like this in front of me. I could literally see, so from this distance, I could literally see the outline, and it was a grayish black. The backgrounds were a grayish sort of color, but my hands came across like a dark, shadowy type of figure. So I was like, how am I seeing this? And it's not like my room was very brightly lit. I had just a very dim Himalayan salt lamp at the side of my bed. That's the only light I had on. So I was seeing the outline of my hand, and the closer I came in to my third eye, I was actually seeing my fingers. I was seeing the outlines of my fingers. I couldn't really see my color, caramel color. I couldn't see that. But I could see the outline of my fingers and my hands, and exactly the shape and size of my wrists. Everything was there. And so I got excited, saying, I can't believe this. I'm seeing this. And throughout the whole session, when my eyes were closed, I would actually see different types of colors, bursts of colors. The whole time I was seeing like an indigo violet, and then it would move down to a light, mild lilac color. I don't know what that all meant, but that's what I saw. And at the end of that, something strange really started happening. So now this energy is moving through me, but now I'm starting to feel heat moving through my entire body. After that, I put my hand down. My eyes were still closed, but now all of a sudden I could see throughout, my vision. As my eyes are closed, I was able to see, the lilac, the light sort of purpley color turning into pure white. It started at cloudy, and then it got brighter and brighter. But then as it got brighter, I started to feel as if my hands and my feet were beginning to turn like wheels. I don't know how to explain it, but it began to turn like wheels, spinning. And then I was explaining all of this as I'm feeling it and sensing it to Robert, who was virtually on the phone with me. And he basically said to me, your guide is coming in. I don't know what messages he got, but he said, you have a guide coming in. Do you want to meet your guide? And I said, well, yeah, I'd love to meet my guide. But then something in me got really scared and nervous because he's not with me physically, Robert, and I'm in a room alone by myself. I didn't understand what this could have meant. Are they coming into the room? Are they coming into my thoughts? I panicked for a moment and I opened my eyes and, I said, I'm too nervous. This just too much is going on. And so he calmed me down and started to walk me through it again. And for some reason, maybe my fear stopped my guide from coming in. Then he asked me to imagine what my guide would look like and told me, I'm sensing it's a female coming. There's one person coming forward. He said, can you at least close your eyes and start imagining? If you had to imagine someone coming forward, who would it be? And I started to describe what I thought I was imagining or seeing. And the funny thing is, Robert had the same idea. He had the same visualization. He just wanted to hear it from me, what I saw. I literally saw what he saw. And I described it, and he said, there's a name coming forward. I told him what I thought the name was, what it was coming across. I didn't know. But I said it to him. And so in that entire exercise, I felt a presence. It's really strange. I felt a presence as my eyes were closed coming in. Still the white background. And in that presence, I was able to feel this extreme wrapping, like a mother-like figure, cradling me, coddling me, just embracing me. But when it was such an embrace that was a loving, warm touch, I can't really describe it, but I felt so completely safe and tenderly wrapped in her arms, but I didn't see her or her arms. I just felt the presence. And Robert asked me to ask her, is there any messages she has for me? And so I did. And with that, I began to cry because she started to tell me how loved I was, that I've been loved for eternity, for a very long time, which felt like eternity is what she was saying to me. She said to me that you're on the right path and that, that nothing that I'm doing is a mistake and that I just need to keep going and that no experiences are wrong experiences and that if I've ever forgotten, just know that you're always protected and that you are extremely loved and cared for and cared about. It was such a touching feeling that I get emotional now just thinking about it. But I cried because I'm feeling emotional just saying it. But it was like the nicest validation. I guess maybe I've been feeling really alone and things ahead of me felt very daunting. And I often felt like, my goodness, I'm so responsible for everyone and everything, but I've never really had a lot of people that sort of just looked out for me. I'm always the one giving to everyone, but never to myself. And it just felt so nice to have somebody say that you are loved, you're not abandoned, you were never a mistake, that what you're doing and where you're going, it's the right path. There is no wrong actions. It was really intense. So I don't know how else to describe that, but it was amazing. And I teared up. I cried. It was such a really cathartic feeling. And from there, I shifted from there. I was allowed moments just to myself to feel that. And then when I opened my eyes after that, I swear to you, I have a popcorn ceiling at the top of my bed.